Welcome back to the Fantasy Fact Check. I'm Molly.
I'm Gabe.
This is where the checks meet the facts. This was a pretty wild week with a lot of losses, especially in Charlie's case. We start the show with a developing story. The Federal Heights Dukes made headlines last week when the team came out with a statement and a promise to boycott. Duke's statement was to Commissioner but was leaked to the public by reporter Cole Checketts, the one and only. We now turn to Cole Checketts on the grievance.
Thanks, Gabe and Molly. Now it's time for more on this story. The Federal Heights Dukes last week released a grievance to the Commissioner's office of the league. Well, first things first, Dukes. If you try to hide something from me, you can't! I was obviously able to get hold of this file and release it to the public, which you now are seeing. I will now read the grievance. Mr. Commissioner, on behalf of the ownership group and board of directors of the esteemed Federal Heights Duke Football Club, I'm officially filing a grievance against the rest of the clubs in the Checketts Family Fantasy Football League. It became clear that we have colluded against multiple mutually beneficial trades have been ignored or similarly rejected with clear produce against our esteemed club. It's disappointing but not surprising. Once again, we have organized a silent protest prior to tonight's Thursday night football games, featuring the Steelers and the Bengals. Our ownership group and board will be kneeling during the national anthem with our fist and paws raised. We sincerely hope this disruptive act will motivate the league office to address our concerns. Sincerely, Federal Heights Dukes, FC. Well, strong words, I guess. Seriously, you guys need to know that, and it shouldn't be private. The statement released on Thursday afternoon has been taken in action quickly. Spencer and Duke, the Federal Heights owners, kneeled during the national anthem with their fists and their paws raised to the sky. They should be put in jail for this, the football jail. The commissioner responded to the accusations with an immediate request for further evidence that protest was indeed taking place. When said evidence was provided, the commissioner's response was an expression of sympathy, but nothing more. They don't deserve more, so no action has been taken and no official statement has been released by the commissioner following last week's events. Instead, choosing to provide a response to the vast media backlash he received after the league's decision to combine the playoff format into one single conference. He has also responded to trades and provided criticism to the media. His silence on this grievance, whilst maintaining access on other issues, is definite. We'll keep you updated as the story progresses. But for now, so long. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Cole, for all of that information.
Now we're going to bring in the one and only Queen, Grandma, for her amazing analysis.
Let's get into the weekly rundown with our first game of Spencer versus Will. Spencer had a tremendous game after his protest, which is not surprising, and Will got kind of run down.
He was on the wrong side of fury. The little Giants, also like the normal Giants that sucked last week, he did not do very well. The Duke had the leading highest score player, Bo Nix, who put up 40 points. But the little Giants didn't have an awful game. They put up the most points of any losing team this week.
And Will, your mascot is a lion. Spencer's mascot is a dog, Duke, who is lazy. You're a lion. You need to tremble under these dogs.
So I have been asked to come on this program today to teach kindness to everyone and to do some diagnosing. Gabe, that was extremely passive-aggressive.
My bad.
Okay. All right. And no one pick on the Giants kicker because that's bullying. However, the defensive coordinator should be shot.
Off on that note, we're going to jump to the Twin Bowl with Clyde versus Charles.
Clyde had an impressive win, continuing his 7-win streak, which is not surprising. So, Charles, it's your brother. You need to beat him.
Neither team was that impressive in my opinion, no offense. Clyde was carried by none other than Patrick Mahomes and Jonathan Taylor, scoring a combined 59 points between the two of them. And Charles only got 11 points from his running back.
I would just like to say, above all, have brotherly love and compassion towards one another.
Great job. Major upset alert.
True. Connor versus Nate. Connor, depressing defeat. Are you seriously gonna let your uncle show you up?
Embarrassing. I mean, it wouldn't be the first time, but
Yeah.
it's pretty embarrassing.
I mean, this uncle has only won on week 2. That's it. He comes back randomly and then pushes up his nephew. You can't let that happen.
CeeDee Lamb, who was right off an entry, put up nearly 20 points, leading the Red Raiders to victory. The Bachelors, who I don't even think they should be called that, had a chance to basically secure a playoff spot, but they choked. Big time. After scoring the highest in the league last week, the Bachelors scored the lowest by far this week, even lower than Charlie.
How low can you go, Connor?
And I will have my vengeance in this life or the next.
All right, next game, Ashton versus Andrew. Both teams were 3-3, so this was a pretty big game. Game of the week, in my opinion. Ashton scored the most points this week with 135. He was led by rookie Quinshawn Junkins, who put up 26 points, and his playoff chances have doubled since last week, going up to 78%.
Might I add, Ashton does seem like one of the top 4 picks for the playoffs, so there's basically only 2 spots remaining for everyone left, including me. So everyone that's not already in like that top 4 range needs to start picking it up big time.
Well, at least. Hey, that's right. If you look at map.
We're gonna go to the next to Gabe and then Thomas. Thomas took care of business once again. Gabe got showed up by his younger cousin, and the Goofs, yet another team to score over 100 points, they still lost. What do you have to say about that game?
Possibly that half my players were on the bench because of a bye. Might I say, I did grab a defense that was on the waiver wire, which no one grabbed, that scored 18 points, which is a shame for... My bad. So even though I may have lost, I did get an award in some way of getting a good defense.
Grandma, what do you have to say?
What I'd like to say is, Gabriel, blame is a big red flag. So
Red flag.
So quit blaming the people that didn't play well. However, I like the way you put a positive spin on that. It shows a level of optimism that is commendable.
Thank you, Grandma.
I really love Grandma here. She's leveling me and Gabe out. I'm glad she wasn't here during the Charlie point.
You picked on Miracle Charlie?
No, not
We'll
at all.
deal with me later.
Well,
All right, last game of the week, Charlie versus Teddy. Teddy, shocker, he won with a get-right game, putting up 118 points. He was led by Jamar Gibbs with a 35-point performance.
Charlie, you really need to up your game. 7 losses, gotta make it better than this.
No words. Stop picking on Miracle Charlie. Period.
He's 0-7.
I know. It's not his fault.
Whose fault is it?
Oh, probably Grandpa's.
Okay, it's Grandpa's fault. Going on to next week, the Miracles are on life support. Charlie now has to decide whether or not to pull the plug.
Yes, I want you all to remember this is a game, and these are real people playing the game and real people in fantasy football. So above all, be kind.
Treat people the way you want to be treated, except to the Giants.
It's also a
coordinator.
competition.
It's offensive coordinator.
Well, the Miracles are now on life support, and because Charlie is now down to 7 losses with 0 wins. So we're gonna go to a new segment called Revisionist History.
Thank you, Gabe. In my opinion, I think he should pull the plug. 0-7, that's pretty embarrassing, but he might be used to it by now. So Charlie hasn't won a game all season, but would you believe there was a path to the Miracles winning every single game this season instead of 0-7 to make him 7-0? Let's go back to his most recent game.
In this most recent game with Charlie versus Teddy, if Charlie had put in Travis Hunter instead of Brian Thomas Jr., he would have gotten over 104 points, which is a massive upgrade from his 89.44 points.
See, if that was me, I don't have a fantasy team, but if I did, I know I would not be 0-7, first of all. Second of all, if that was me, I would not have benched Travis Hunter. I would have had a little more faith in him, and I would have used my brain, unlike my younger brother, Charlie, did.
In the last week versus Charlie and Will, who are best friends, if Will would have had just a little sympathy and put in the Ravens defense, he would have let Charlie win, which would have made it so Charlie would have had his first win of the season but because Will is just a mean old brother and cousin, he obviously put the Rams in. And
Charlie, that's one change, and you can't even do that. And you need sympathy points of Will to change his defense just for you to get one game. Still 0-7 for Charlie. That sucks.
Disappointed.
On Charlie's game versus Spencer, the Dukes, he lost by less than a point. And he just needed one change to get one win. But clearly, Charlie, as we can tell by his 0-7 record, he can't really do that. If he played Travis Hunter and benched A.J. Brown, which is what he did not do, and he lost by less than a point, then he would have won. But he doesn't have faith in Travis Hunter like I don't have faith in him for the rest of the season. Love you, dude.
I think you should have just put Travis Hunter in. I think you need to listen to your sister's
Yeah, you need to listen to
advice.
me, even though I don't have a team. Clearly, I know more ball than you. Sorry. And when Charlie played Clyde's team, who's 7-0, you can probably tell how that turned out. He lost. But if he did not listen to his grandpa and listen to someone like me, he maybe would have won because he benched Romeo.
Who's Dubs?
Yeah, Dubs, who was not in the game, and he played Tucker instead. If he did play Romeo, who put up around 30 points, probably would have won.
Wherefore
Romeo,
art thou, Romeo?
not in the game, Charlie. Listen to Shakespeare, dude. What are you doing? Listen to Shakespeare over your grandpa. That's wise words from me. Charlie, I hope you know it gets worse from here. The first 3 games of the season, you didn't even have to make that many changes, and you probably would have won all 3 games. It's really not that hard. You need to start listening to me, some of my advice, because if you did just a couple changes, you would have won.
Yeah.
And you didn't do that, so.
You can see them all here. Just not a lot,
Not
Charlie.
a lot at all. If I had a team, I would have made all these changes. It's common sense, actually.
Yeah, I think Molly should change.
I think I should
be
take your
in
team.
Your spot. Yeah.
Sorry, dude. So with these simple changes, Charlie could be 7-0, but because he's not the smartest, as we can tell, he's actually 0-7. But there's something that happened before any game was played that changed the course of this season.
Maybe the draft history, possibly.
The draft history. So the Miracles, Charlie team drafted 12th, but guess who drafted 11th?
Clyde.
The
possibly.
only 7-0 team.
Total reverse.
He's behind Clyde in height and in the draft now. Sorry, Charlie, I love you.
Let's look back at the draft and see where Clyde went right and where Charlie just went wrong.
Multiple times. Charlie obviously wanted Puka out of the draft, but Clyde grabbed him one time before Charlie could have. And guess what? Puka is ranked 5th. Charlie drafted...
Brian Thomas Jr.? What?
I don't even know who that is. So that's a sign you
Yeah.
probably should not have drafted him. He is ranked 32nd. 5th is a little better than 32nd. That could be an opinion, but according to me.
Yeah.
The very next pick, Charlie took Ashton Genty, who is ranked 12th among the running backs.
Unfortunately, though, Clyde picked Jonathan Taylor, who's only the first ranked running
Not that
back.
much better, but it's okay. Not that much better, Charlie. Don't worry. Don't take
Yeah.
that one too hard. That one's not bad.
Yeah.
Charlie's 3rd round pick was Joe Burrow, who I love. I love Joe Burrow. But he took it right before Clyde, who took Patrick Mahomes, who
Yeah, isn't
He's fine.
really a big deal. Not at all.
I personally think Joe Burrow is better than Patrick Mahomes, but guess who got injured? Burrow. Shocker.
Yeah,
Doesn't he have like turf toe or something? Yeah, Charlie, your quarterback got out by turf toe. So
Yeah.
he was actually only injured into week 2, which maybe could be Charlie's excuse for being 0-7.
No.
No.
5 minutes.
Patrick Mahomes is only ranked the 1st quarterback in the entire league. I don't think that's big of a deal. I mean, I think the average Joe could do that. 2 rounds later, Charlie took another wide receiver, Travis Hunter, who he actually benched for the games he showed on a benched, as we talked about. But Clyde took another wide receiver, Jalen Waddle, with the very next pick. Jalen is ranked only 18 places higher. It's okay, Charlie.
Yeah.
I don't think you should beat yourself up about this because 18 places higher, not that big of a
Yeah.
deal.
I mean, Travis was such a big character for you. He could have made all your games
Such a big
win.
character that you benched him for like 3 games in a
I
row.
know.
Good job. Now, Charlie, round 10. This was a bright spot for you, and I'm really proud of you for doing this. You stole Deebo Samuel. Is that how you say his name? You stole Deebo Samuel, who's the 17th ranked wide receiver.
That's a crazy steal,
What
Charlie.
a steal,
I
dude.
know.
Proud of you.
Just, there's only one downside to this.
Unfortunately,
Just-
this was a little bit outshined by none other than Clyde, who took Javonte Williams, who's ranked 6th. I don't really know what to say to that one. That one kind of sucks. I'm really sorry, dude.
I mean, at least you got him.
Hey, the Miracles, you're kind of struggling for that name.
Yeah.
You might want to change your name. Love you. So that is revisionist history for you for Charlie. It's a little tips for you. Unfortunately, your actual history, you are still 0-7, not 7-0. Hey,
Could've been
I
so
believe
much
you can
better.
bounce back if you listen to us.
I think you should take her advice
Yeah,
more.
take my advice, even though I don't have a team.
Coming in.
Breaking news! A wild development to this story concerning the protest. We need to take it back to Cole Checkets with Federal Heights Dukes.
Take it away, Cole.
We'll see if this league steps in with any action.
The Federal Heights Dukes are bringing in QB Colin Kaepernick into their team faculties for a workout. Federal Heights' current quarterback, Bo Nix, has been made aware of the situation. There's been a lot of speculation around the Dukes standing with the Knicks. The Dukes tried to trade for Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert before the year began. They have also tried trading for Josh Allen in recent weeks. However, I want to be clear, this is clearly a PR stunt. This is to make a point. Bo Nix is coming off a near 40-point performance. He's going better after week and week. Is it a great idea to bring a new face into the faculty? Probably not. But this just shows the serious Federal Heights Dukes are taking the protest. Kaepernick made a national headlines by taking a knee during the national anthem. And that action, mixed with poor quarterback play, led to Kaepernick without a spot on any roster. As a wild development to the story concerning the conditional protest of the Federal Heights Dukes, shame on you, Dukes. Shame on you.
A wild development to this story concerning the continual protest of the Federal Heights Dukes. We'll see if this league steps in with any action, especially coming off that statement win.
Let's look at next week's slate, where some might have big games and some might not have big games. One of the biggest highlight games of this week is Connor versus Ashton. Ashton just came off of a glorious win, and Connor coming off of a little
Embarrassing loss.
Embarrassing, yeah.
But both teams are 4-3, so this is a good game to look forward to next week. So that's it for Fantasy Fact Check. Thank you for tuning in, and we will see you all next week.
See you next week.
It's going to be a fun second half of the season.